Hi everyone, I'm Bria and welcome back to my channel, Tales of Tales. So today we are just going to do a quick video just so you guys can get to know me as a reader. And as I'm answering these questions, please leave your answers down below too, because I definitely want to get to know you guys as well. I've been on BookTube technically for a while, but I feel like I'm just now starting to get consistent. And so as we go into the new year, I just thought it'd be nice to do this tag just so you guys can know what you're getting into and just know what I'm into. So I actually got this tag from Adrienne Christine. Make sure you go check out her channel. I'll link it down below. There's 20 questions to this tag and I'll try to get through them pretty quickly because I can be known to ramble sometimes, so I don't want that to happen. So the first question is, how many books is too many books in a book series? Honestly, I'm gonna say anything more than 3 or 4 is probably way too many, at least for me, because I know I'm not gonna get past book 3 or book 4. I have to be really engaged in the story for me to get past book 3. There is plenty of series on my shelves right now where I haven't even gotten to book 2 yet, so I wish I was someone that had the commitment to go through a 10 book or 12 book series. I can't. Question 2, how do you feel about cliffhangers? I think it makes sense in books that are gonna continue on to be a series, obviously, but I do want some sense of satisfaction at the end of a book, even if it is the first in a series, because who knows if I'm gonna pick up that second book and I don't want to feel like I wasted my time by reading the first book. So I just want to feel like I got something out of it at the end. Question 3 is hardback or paperback? Definitely paperback for me. I only really like hardbacks because they're more durable. So if I'm traveling with them or something, I prefer hardbacks in that capacity, but I rarely read when I'm on vacation anyway. But other than that, I would prefer paperback. They're just easier to read, easier to transport. Who doesn't like a good floppy paperback? You know the pages just flapping in the wind. You know what I'm talking about, when it's just no? Okay. Question number 4 is my favorite book. That's hard because I think sometimes people consider favorites as something that you can read over and over again, but I don't reread books very often. So once I'm done with it, I kind of decide if it's my favorite or not. I would probably say though, the ones that stick out in my mind are probably going to be Dark Matter, maybe The Martian by Andy Weir, or Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. And if we are going to talk about rereads, I would say the only books that I really reread and plan on rereading again at some point would be The Hunger Games. I know it's cliche, but I am who I am. And Red Rising, that trilogy. I do plan on rereading that so I can get through the rest of the series. Going back to me not finishing series, there are 2 more books in that saga, so, and I don't remember what happened in the first 3 books, so I need to get back to that one. Least favorite book. The City of Bones by Cassandra Clare. Hated it. Hated it. The main character is probably my least favorite main character I've ever read. I don't know if it's because I read that book later on in life when it wasn't intended for me, and so people who like it now, there's a nostalgia factor there. But I really hated everything about that book, so. Question number 6 is love triangles, yes or no? You know what? Sometimes I don't mind reading them, but I'm gonna say no, only because I feel like somebody is always dragged along because another person can't figure their feelings out, and I just don't think that's fair. And somebody's always just gonna end up hurt in a way that they don't deserve, usually in a love triangle. I don't mind reading them, but it's not my favorite romance trope. Question number 7 is the most recent book you couldn't finish. Dune. Dune kicked my ass, okay? I've tried to start reading that book twice and I've accomplished 0 times. So Bria 0, Dune 2. I do plan to try to read it again at some point. I just don't know when. Question number 8 is a book you're currently reading. So I'm currently reading Act Your Age, Eve Brown. I'm almost done with it. I love that trilogy of the Brown sisters. I'm kind of sad that it's over now, but I'll definitely be picking up some more Talia Hibbert books. I know she's written some other romances, and I'm just interested to see what else she's got because I've only read the Brown Sister series. So yeah, that's what I'm currently reading. Question number 9 is last book you recommended to someone. So I recommended Vicious to my coworker. Him and his girlfriend read YA books together all the time, which I was like, God, I've seen what you've done for others. And he's actually already read A Darker Shade of Magic. And usually when guys ask me for like sci-fi or like fantasy type book recommendations, I always go with Vicious because there's 2 male main characters and you know, it's not focused on like a love story or whatever. And not saying that men don't want to read love stories, but I just feel like Vicious is one of those books that are like good for a lot of different audiences. So that's what I recommended. 10, oldest book you've read, publication date. I'm literally going off the top of my head. I'm not going to look at my Goodreads for this. I'm probably going to say like The Giver or Kindred maybe. I'm looking at my shelves right now. I don't know, one of those older books that you had to read in high school, so like Where the Red Fern Grows, shit like that. I don't know. I'm just gonna go with The Giver. That sounds right. Question 11 is newest book you've read, publication date. So I'm assuming that's probably gonna be like a 2021 release, which I don't know if I've even read any 2021 releases. It's probably The Charm Offensive. I think that came out like a couple months ago. And I read that last month, so that was probably the newest book that I own, or newest book that I've read. I own new books, but I rarely read them when they come out. So question number 12 is favorite author. Okay, I have 2 answers for this. The first one is probably going to be Riley Sager. I haven't read Survive the Night yet, but all his other books I've really enjoyed, and he's essentially like an auto-buy author for me. And then I'll also say Elizabeth Acevedo, also an auto-buy author for me, and I've loved every single one of her books. So those are my 2 favorite authors. Question 13 is buying books or borrowing books. I've tried to get better at utilizing my like digital library, but I do prefer like a physical book. So usually that means I'm gonna buy books. I know that people are like always encouraging people to use their library, which I'm gonna try to start using as well too. But for me, I'm also like not a really quick reader, and I'm a mood reader. So I can go check out 5 books from the library and then only end up reading one of them, either because my mood changed and I didn't want to read anything else that I got, or I just didn't have time to get to them all. And I would hate to borrow books and not read them and then, you know, keep someone else who really does want to read that book from reading it. So usually I buy books. Question 14, a book you dislike that everyone else seems to love. So I won't use the same answer as like my least favorite book. So I'm gonna go with Caraval. I think that's the name of the book, Caraval. Everybody seems to love that book and like that series, and I also just really didn't enjoy it. Like, it wasn't horrible, but it wasn't something that I would continue on with the series on, and I'm probably going to end up unhauling that book. I just usually like magic systems that have actual like set rules, and in Caraval it was just like a free-for-all and anything could go, and at the end technically any answer could have been plausible because there was no set rules to the magic system, and I just don't like that. 15, bookmarks or dog ears? Definitely bookmarks. What I use as a bookmark, who knows? Like, there's a plethora of things that I use as bookmarks. Napkins, receipts, but I do actually use like regular bookmarks sometimes. I've tried to get in a better habit of it. Some of my favorites come from the seasonal pages, which I'll link down below. And so now that I have some more bookmarks, I've actually started using them. But it really is just whatever's in the vicinity. But I will tell you, I do not dog ear my pages. I don't know why, but I just like cringe inside when I dog ear pages. So definitely a bookmark. Question 16 is a book you can always reread. So I just mentioned, I'm not a big rereader. Rereader, is that a word? Rereader. Whatever. But I'm just gonna go with The Hunger Games because I've reread it a couple times. Hello? Okay, I'm gonna speed through this because my parents are downstairs to pick me up. Question 17, can you read while hearing music? Absolutely, it actually helps me read faster. I'll put on an Apple Music playlist, which is like the pure focus, and actually just helps me along on my reading journey. Question 18, one POV or multiple POVs? I'm gonna say one POV in most instances, multiple POVs in thrillers or mysteries. Just that I can really get a full 360 of like the plot of the mystery, and so that I can try to figure it out. I feel like the more information I have, the better I am at trying to figure it out. I usually never figure it out, I'm gonna be honest, until I'm supposed to, but it makes me feel better that I have more information to work off of. But any other book, contemporary, fantasy, all of that, just give me the one. Question 19, do you read a book in one sitting or over multiple days? Multiple days. I am not a quick reader. Every once in a while there's a contemporary book that I can sit down and read in one sitting, but I also usually just don't have time to sit down and just read one book in one sitting. So yeah, over multiple days, sometimes multiple weeks, but it is what it is. And question 20, who do you tag? Nobody and everybody. If you want to do the tag, feel free. So I'll leave all the questions down below for anyone who does want to do the tag. And thanks for hanging out with me today, guys. Let me know what your opinions are on some of these questions if you aren't going to do the tag. If you are going to do the tag, make sure to let me know down in the comments so I can watch it as well. Love to get to know you guys. And if you made it to the end of this video, you are my favorite as always, and I hope you guys have a good day. Bye.